Hello? Okay, I will try and edit out as much of that as I possibly can, but apparently the maintenance guy is up on the roof. Or it's God. Who knows? Hello, welcome to today's video, where I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing in my last video because y'all know I bulk film. We're doing the Bookish Tag, which is actually an original tag from a book blogger. A lot of times I find tags, they're from booktubers, but you know what? This is from a book blogger. And her blog is A Books Neverland. I'm gonna link it down below. Go check out her blog. You know what? I think book bloggers do not get enough love because they don't want to put their damn face on camera, but they put in a lot more work sometimes. Most times. Almost all of the time. Yeah. But we're all readers and we all love books, so go check out her blog because I'm grateful to have a tag to do right now. So this tag is just a series of fun book questions and we're going to answer them here, live. Well, not pre-recorded, for your entertainment. First question is, how many books do you currently own? All right, before I say this number out loud, I'm not including the books that I recently unhauled, even though they're still in my apartment. I'm not including any of the books that Mike owns because that's his stuff. And I'm not including any books that I own digital copies of or any of my comic books that are like flimsy floppy copies. Only like books. Books. So while I probably own more than this is the number I'm claiming. I own 493 books. I don't know if, you know what? I actually don't know if that's a lot. How many books do you own? Please help me feel better about this. 400. Oh my god. Almost 500 books is a lot. Moving on. Second question. How many books are you currently reading? I'm currently reading 3 because I started reading House of Earth and Blood, which is the first Crescent City novel by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm about 250 pages into that 850-page Bible monster of a book. And I needed a break because nothing has happened yet. Yikes, that's kind of not super great, but that's kind of how all her books are, honestly. So I'm assuming I will be fully invested in another 50 to 100 pages and then I will not want to put it down because that's how it's happened a couple times for me. So fingers crossed, because otherwise 850 pages of me not being invested does not sound like a good time. The second book I'm reading I checked out from the library, and it's a digital copy of Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. And so far it's really fucking good. I think I'm like 50 pages in, and I started reading that because I needed a break from the Crescent City book. And I was like flying through it, and then lo and behold, May 19th hit, and then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins came out. So I've been reading that, and I'm like 300 pages into that, and I started this morning. I'm also reading that digitally. So page numbers very different digitally than they are physically. The digital edition that I'm reading has like 700 pages because, you know, my phone is only like this big, so the pages are small. And I need big font because I'm a grandmother and my eyeballs hurt when I read things on computer screens for too damn long. So take that with a grain of salt. I just feel like I'm into part 2, almost through part 2 is what I'm thinking at this point of that book. So yeah, I'm reading 3 books. I will probably finish Ballad either today or tomorrow, and then I will go back to read a little bit more of the Crescent City novel, and then I'll go back and read more of Shatter Me because I only have it for 2 weeks, so I want to make sure I finish it before I have to turn it back in. Question number 3, choose a couple of books you read but didn't enjoy. I recently just put both of these books in like unhaul videos, and I ranted about them in those videos, so I'm not going to rant about them again in this video and make it hella long. But The Memory Thief by Lauren Mancy did not live up to my expectations for what I thought it was going to be, and the actual plot was not good. And then the other one that I still have because, you know, that quarantine life, you can't go anywhere to donate stuff, is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. And I was actually going to give this to my friend who has the rest of the series, but I haven't fucking seen her. So, you know, sitting here waiting for her. But the Toll has its own problems and its own issues, and I am just, if y'all want to see the rant on that, it's in another video. I don't even know what video it is anymore, but there's a lot that I disliked about that. Other than the fact that it's absolutely boring. Just putting that out there. Question number 4, cover by. So a book that I bought simply because I thought the cover was stunning, and I'm going to give that to The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. And this book was faced out on a shelf in Barnes & Noble, and I was like, oh, the hell is that? That is so beautiful. And then I read the inside cover and I was like, oh wow, okay. That seems kind of deep. And I read it and then it tore me apart and I loved it. And it was the best. It does have content warnings on her website, so if you choose to pick this up, please read the content warnings on her website. But it is absolutely a beautiful book, and this is one that I recommend all the damn time in the bookstore. When people are like, I wonder what this is. I'm like, don't wonder. Buy it. Find out what it's about. It will change your life. Question number 5, a book you own but hate the cover of. And y'all, I had to look because I buy a lot of my books for the cover because I am that bitch. But I found one that is absolutely disgusting. Shade's Children by Garth Nix. This is a first edition. I collect Garth Nix first editions. I have all of them except for Sabriel and L'Oreal at this point. I own every single other Garth Nix first edition. Have a problem. And so I needed this one to complete the collection, but it is so ugly. It's disgusting. I hate it. Like, what on earth? Who chose this font? Who chose this color? Look at the side. Who picks this up? Who literally goes, ooh, bright orange and blue? I mean, the Broncos do, but no one likes them, so. Literally trash. But I needed it for my collection, so. There we go. Question number 6. I forgot what number we were on. A book you haven't read in years. And I actually found this and realized that I literally haven't read it in so long. It's Rune Marks by Joanne Harris. I haven't read this book in over 10 years. However, I love this book because it deals with a girl who finds out that her destiny is to essentially stop the coming of Ragnarok. Hello? That's fucking awesome! And her, like, best friend in this book is, like, Loki. It's literally the spirit of Loki. She goes and she visits Hel, and Hel is out here being cute but ugly at the same time, like a bitch is. Odin makes a little bit of an appearance. This book is like probably what like started to nudge me into the ways of like paganism, and it is beautiful. I love it so much. There is so much that feels like this book should be middle grade because of the wonder and like the innocence that the main character kind of has. There's a lot of this that feels YA for the lore and the representations of the characters and the representations of mythology being like so well done. And then there's also some of this that has like adult themes that this book is one of the weirdest to place in terms of like an age group. I read this when I think I was 17 turning 18, or I had just come back from, I think I was 18 at the time because I was back from Thanksgiving break at college. No, then I would have been 17 because I didn't turn 18 until December. So I read this when I was 17. So it's actually been almost 11 years since I read this. I kind of want to reread it now, honestly, after me talking about it because it's hype as hell. It's such a good book. Number 7, a book you will always recommend. All right, y'all, I have recommended this to you so many times. If you haven't read it yet, please read it. So You Want to Be a Wizard by Diane Duane. This is the first book in the Young Wizards series, and it is the best book. So good. This is the book that, like, if you want to get a middle schooler reading fantasy or a high-level elementary school reader reading fantasy, or you want a book that's a little bit comfortable and you're a young adult but you don't want to read about some super heavy shit, but you want to read about a little heavy shit, this is it. This is the book. It's so good. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And I reread this at least once a year. It is another one of those books that kind of nudged me into becoming like a little baby pagan in a weird way. All of the magic is science and math based. It's an insanely incredible magic system that Diane has like developed for these characters. Everything has a price. The price is, you know, your own will, your own existence, your own life force in some cases. And wizards are created to fight against entropy, to fight against death. It's so good. Please read this. Also, look at this edition though. What a fancy edition. This is actually one of like the originals. Oh, look at that. It's signed. Wow. What a flex. All-time favorite book series. Okay. Get ready. My all-time favorite book series is the original Abhorsen trilogy. The original. All this extra shit that we have had added on by Mr. Garth Nix is nice. It's good. But we could have been done here. And I would have been very satisfied. Did it leave off in kind of a weird, ambiguous way? Yes, but it let me use my brain and imagination to kind of continue that journey for myself. Weirdly enough, I actually read these out of order the first time. I read this book first. And then I read Sabriel thinking it was like a prequel. No. Read Sabriel first and then read Lorraine and then you read Abhorsen. This is my favorite. Look how old these books are, y'all. Once my brother was being mean and he cut the back of my book thinking that it would hurt me, and it did. So I taped it. So I have that. But like the spines, y'all, are loved. These are very well read and well loved copies. My favorite series of all time. Of all time. Question number 9. Where do you read? I read on the couch. And I read on my bed. Because I don't have anywhere else to read right now. The last question is, what are the last 2 books that you gave 5-star ratings to and why? And my Goodreads app is only on my tablet because my phone is old and small, like me. Squire by Tamora Pierce, I rated 5 stars because I love the series. And Page, which is the first book in that. So the first and second book in the Tamora Pierce series, I rated 5 stars. I feel like that's cheating because I have read them before. So I'm going to scroll back down to my unread books that I gave 5 stars to. Ooh, The Heart Forger by Rin Chupeco, which is the second book in the Bone Witch trilogy, I gave 5 stars to. And the reason I gave it 5 stars is because I read it in like, I think I read it in like 11 hours or something. I read it so quick. I'm pretty sure it took me one like day of reading. I was enthralled. I was captured by that book. The first book in that series, The Bone Witch, is terrible. It's so boring. I hated it. But I got through it so that I could read the second one because my best friend was like, they're so good, dude. Please read it. And I was like, all right, I will try. And then I got into the second book. And not only was everything established from the first book, so I didn't have to like rehash anything, suddenly I cared about everything that was going on. And I was so invested in the main character and her story and why she became so evil, but not really evil. I wanted to know what was happening with the war. I wanted to know what was happening with all of the magic and all of like how she was amassing all of this power. It was so good. I have Shadowglass on my TBR for this month. It is my next book that I'm reading once I finish House of Earth and Blood. So, yeah, I'm hoping that it's as good. And then the other book that I recently rated 5 stars was American Gods by Neil Gaiman, which is one of the best books that I have read in a very long time because it does a great service to Norse mythology and other mythologies across the world. It is written by a man that does heavy research and doesn't act like he knows everything about everything. His writing style is intricate and fluid. The characters are absolutely hilarious, and you just feel like you could be friends with some of these characters in real life. And it's a book that it made me feel some feelings, and I cried a little bit. But it was really good. And the first season of the show, definitely not, doesn't follow the book 100%, but really good. We can't watch the second season because I'm not paying for it, so, you know. And that was the Bookish Tag. So once again, that is an original tag that was created by A Books Neverland. A Books Neverland? A Books Neverland. My brain is like separating Neverland into two words, but I know it's Neverland like Peter Pan. So, but my brain is going A Books Neverland. But it's A Books Neverland. There we go. Sorry about that. It will be linked down below. Go check her out. And I'm going to tag people to do this tag. If you've already done this tag and I tag you, my bad, yo. I disappeared for 7 months. I don't know what's relevant. So we're just going to tag people. And if you want to do it, dang it. First off, A Spice Reads Books. Ginger. Hello. Love you. Please do this tag. And you know who else is back in business here on BookTube is Miss Violet at Violet and the Neverending TBR. Please do this tag. I want to see it. And then let's go through my subscriptions and find another person to do this with. I found somebody, and I don't know if she watches my channel, but I watch her channel all the time. She does like Funko Pop hauls and like toy hauls and book hauls, but she also talks about books. I love her personality. She's wild. I love her so much. And like super genuine, which I vibe with. So I'm tagging Books with Brandy Shanae. She's great. Also, go watch her videos. I'm just saying. But I literally don't think she watches my channel at all. So who knows if that's happening. But I would love to see her do this tag. I would love to see you do this tag if you watch my videos. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this is another long ass video. I talk too much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.